Nah, this wasn't just a Game 7. This was the first coming out of African Jesus. Joel Embiid didn't just beat Boston. He dominated them. I'm talking about 30-point, double-digit rebound type domination, bro. Efficient shooting, controlling the tempo. Like everything you'd expected from an MVP in the biggest moment. And you know what makes it worse? Boston knew the entire time, bro. Literally, this man, Jaylen Brown, hopped on Twitch and started going crazy. Just complaining, oh my god, the referees, they're not calling it, and when the other players do it, it's fine, but when I do it, like, bro, we don't care, bro.
If you're gonna call a push-off, call that. Same move. Same move. Same refs. Oh, it's nothing? It's play on, right? It's weird activity. You're gonna call me, right? And it's right here, right in front of you. Same move. Same move. Everybody does it. It's the same move, but this is a three-point play. He makes a three right here. If it would have been me, it would have been an offensive foul. And then people saying that I'm stiff-arming, I'm Mark Henry stiff-arming people out here, whatever y'all be saying. Like, every good basketball player does this. What are y'all talking about? They clearly had an agenda. They clearly had fucking on the red board. If Jaylen does this move, call the offensive foul on him every time. I don't know, it's because I pissed the refs off. I've been critical about them. And I called them out a bunch of times. They were like, you know what, I got you in the playoffs. Watch this.
Embiid finished with 30 points, 10 rebounds, multiple assists, and did it on efficient shooting. But here's the key stat that nobody talks about. His free throw attempts. When a player is getting to the line consistently in a Game 7, it means one thing. You can't guard him. Boston tried everything. Single coverage, doubles, different defenders. It didn't matter. It literally didn't even matter. He scored, forced fouls. That's literal control. This man was blocking shots, getting rebounds, forcing Boston into tougher looks. So now you got a player giving you 30 points, double-digit boards, and rim protection. That's literally a complete takeover. So boom, ask yourself this. If one player is doing all of that, what is the other team supposed to do? Because Boston didn't respond. They shot inconsistently, turned the ball over in key moments, and importantly, most importantly, they lost composure. They started moving around with their heads down, playing scary, throwing up bad shots, shooting from half court. And look, you know what's crazy? I remember earlier in the year, they were having the argument that Jaylen Brown is a better leader than Jason Tatum because he's more vocal, more aggressive, and more accountable. Bro, what? What happened in Game 7? Where was this leadership? Where was the takeover? Where was the stats that shift the momentum? They don't exist because Jaylen Brown is not a volume scorer. If you give him more looks, he's going to miss more shots. We've seen it time and time again, folks. I don't know how many times we got to see this. You know, leadership in the playoffs shows up in two ways. First, your production, and two, your control of the team. So if you can't produce, how the fuck you gonna control the team? He didn't dominate at all. It was a terrible showing. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. And then afterwards, you want to get on Twitch? Bro, you are worth millions of dollars, gang. Why, like, can you leave the views for someone else? Like, god damn, bro. You can't lose control in the game and then get online and start trying to talk about, oh, this is why this happened and this is why this happened. It happened. That's the problem.
I mean, this is my personal opinion on basketball. Some of y'all might disagree. You know what I mean? But argue with your grandma. Flopping has ruined our game. Joel Embiid is a great player. One of the best bigs in fucking basketball history. Flops. He know it. This ain't breaking news. This ain't, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I can clip it up. Like I said, y'all can post it on these paid accounts that y'all, these bot, whatever. That's just my opinion.
And before y'all say, oh, Jaylen Brown still played decent. He still played a good game. That's the problem. Just like Westbrook said. What Russell Westbrook say? That's the problem. Game 7 isn't about playing decent. It's about impact. It's about control. It's about domination. Right? Compare that to Joel Embiid. His stats just didn't look good. He dominated the entire game. Literally, he dominated, bro. And I'm not going to lie. I was hating on the process. I didn't believe. I'm not going to lie. How many years these niggas been getting kicked out? We saw the Joel crying meme. No. I didn't believe, but I'm not going to lie. I believe this year. Because the way Joel Embiid came out, Game 7, you would have thought he was God. Literally. And you know what the worst part about all this is? Jason Tatum. Where were you at? On the sideline with an injury, quote unquote. But look, Kobe would have played. Kobe would have played. I know he's dealing with the injury. Yeah, that matters. But at some point, gang, you have got to put yourself on the line. You've got to risk everything. What did 50 say? Get rich or die trying. Bro, did y'all see the clip of this man Jason Tatum smiling with the ops after the game? What the fuck is this? You just lost in Game 7 of the playoffs. And now you're just laughing, cheesing. Like, that's the problem. That's the problem. These players don't give a fuck. We care more about the game than some of these players. I'm telling you. If I had lost in Game 7, the last person I'm smiling with is a person from the other team. Kobe would never. Jordan would never. In the biggest game, one of the biggest games of your life, you didn't even give it a fuck enough to play. Yo. As far as Boston goes, there's no dominant player. Nah, let me not say that. It was just a terrible game, guys. It was just a really bad game. And look, this is why this game matters so much. Because it answers the biggest question everyone has about Embiid. Can he do it when it matters? Yes, he just did. I told y'all, I wasn't a believer before, but I am a believer now. So now I have to ask y'all. After this performance, do you believe? Do you trust the process? Do you believe? Or are you still going to believe in Jason Tatum, who didn't even care enough to play? He didn't give a fuck. He didn't care. Because after this game, the conversation has changed. I'm not going to lie.